Guys, what's going on, everybody? I almost got everything up and running. Guys, if you're new, hit that sub button so you can see all the daily videos, the daily streams, and everything I talk about here all the time here on the Joe Cronin Show YouTube channel. So make sure you guys sub. If you're new, hit that like button if you can, because, I mean, listen, if I don't see likes, I get depressed, and then I start harming my cat. No, I'm just kidding. What's going on, everybody? We got all the news for you on WWE Network. What does this mean? I'm going to tell you what it means. I'm going to tell you what it could mean, what it means, what might not, what might happen, and also talk about the general idea of all these streaming services in the first place. There's a little bit to spout off about as far as they all go anyway. So we're going to get to all that, all those things. Lots of things to get to here. As we jump in here, we got Denise in the chat. What's been up, Denise? First thing, self-promotion plug. You know I got to do it. I don't have any sponsors, really, except Botch Club on Instagram. Go check them out. Botch Club on Instagram. Go follow them. Give them a love. If you guys love the WWE Network and you love indie wrestling and you love AEW and stuff like that, then you're going to love Title Match Wrestling Network. Title Match Wrestling Network. Title Match Network. Go to their site. All the iPay-per-views in the world, you get half off. Use my coupon code Cronin. And you guys get tons of stuff. A lot of these wrestlers in AEW, they're still doing shows on there. It's crazy. So NBC, Universal, whatever, NBC, blah, 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 Peacock have purchased WWE Network. Now, let's start right back from the beginning. We all speculated and we all talked about what was going to happen with this, right? Like, originally, we were, like, really trying to figure this out. Me and Jake especially were going over this in our heads, like, man, is Amazon going to buy it? Is Netflix going to buy it? We don't know who's going to buy it yet. And here's the thing. A network that is really looking to purchase something could have been, which is what we thought, the desperate network is going to be the one that maybe buys WWE Network, not necessarily Amazon or Netflix, right? Because Amazon and Netflix are huge, right? Netflix has so much content. The Netflix can say, yeah, WWE Network would be a nice grab, but 80% of our listeners or whatever, they're already on here, and it's really a small market, 1.5 million people. It's not, so here you go, WWE, we're going to offer you whatever. I'm going to bet that we heard rumors a while back that WWE Network was offered $500,000. So we heard that Netflix offered WWE $500,000 for the network, right? A 3-year deal, $500,000. That's it. That's what Netflix offered, right? So now you can imagine that Amazon would probably offer something similar or less, probably offer $300,000 or $300 million rather, something around that. But the reason why this works out for WWE so well is because, number one, first of all, they're already partnered with NBC in so many ways. USA Network, NBC, whatever else. They all have kind of a deal together. They've already partnered with NBC several times. A lot of WWE's content is already on NBC. And, of course, NBC Peacock is having trouble selling. We've talked about this for a long time. They're having trouble selling the Peacock network to people, right? People are so set in their ways with Netflix and Hulu and whatever else that it's hard to get somebody to convert over. So, $500,000 or $500 million. I'm sorry, DJ Scandalous. I'm glad you corrected me. By the way, DJ Scandalous, you're gonna love it. I'm wearing my Tupac shirt today. Look at this. Scandalous, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Where you at, Tupac? There he is. You're gonna love it. I'm wearing my Tupac shirt today. What up, DJ? You're right. $500 million. That's what I was trying to say. $500 million. Yeah, Peacock doesn't help, right? Peacock. It's got cock in it, for God's sake, right? Anything with cock in it, that's not a good idea. But I'm gonna get to my point, and then I see that there are donations coming in already. Which thank you guys for the support. Please check out Patreon. I can't tell you guys enough. We're doing great with numbers on Patreon. 310 patrons is amazing, but we're down $300. Like, we're like below the point, $300 below. I'll just come out and tell you my numbers. People would lie, probably tell you things. I just tell you my numbers. I'm $300 off on on my network on Patreon. So in order to pay everybody to do the right thing and keep the shows all rolling the right way, think about becoming a patron. $5. You guys are going to have an extra $5 in your wallet, maybe, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But going back to this, so Netflix offers $500 million. Netflix offers $500 million. Amazon offers $300 to $500 million. But NBC Peacock network, obviously, nobody wants to like jump over to Peacock unless you're like a fan of The Office or something else like that. I have CBS All Access for Star Trek. Star Trek sucks right now. I canceled my CBS All Access. I'm done with CBS All Access. Picard was awful. They butchered the whole series, went SJW garbage. So now I only have Netflix, and I have YouTube, but I'm thinking about canceling my YouTube network too and just putting my cable box in this room. That way I can cancel YouTube, because even though I'm grandfathered in for only $20 a month on YouTube instead of $40 or $50 or whatever it's at, they got rid of my local sports network. They got rid of Nesson. I can't watch Boston Bruins, and I can't watch a couple other things, which is like a major thing I would watch on the YouTube network. So there's so many networks and so many things, right? And I'm going to tell you how that plays out in a few minutes, because we're going to talk about that later. I'm all over the place right now. My ADD is kicking in big time, all right? My ADD is all over the place. So Netflix offers $500 million. Amazon offers $300 to $500 million. But WWE gets offered $1 billion by Peacock. Why would a smaller a subscription service like Peacock, who's smaller, be able to be the ones that purchases WWE? Well, because NBC's bigger, right? NBC's actually really big, well established. But also they're desperate for content. They're desperate to get anybody to look at their stuff. I don't know how many subscribers Peacock has or how many they're going to have. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Maybe we could find out. Alexa, how many people are subscribed to Peacock? Maybe she knows.
Here's something I found on the web. According to Full.com, Peacock will launch with 20 million subscribers.
20 million subscribers. So Peacock will launch with 20 million subscribers. This is 1.5 million subscribers. 1.5 million. Not only is it 1.5 million subscribers, but WWE may potentially cater to some of those 20 million. People may run into the WWE programming on Peacock and say, oh man, I used to watch this stuff with my dad. I remember we watched, what was it, WrestleMania 18 or whatever. It was so great. I'm going to look that, I'm going to watch that again. You know, so it's good for everybody. But $1 billion. This is so good, guys. This is so good for WWE. It's insane. More money for the wrestlers, more money for everybody. The stocks are going to go up. Guys, the stocks aren't up right now, I don't believe. But you know what? If they're not up right now, if you're looking at the stocks right now and they're not up, I haven't even looked, actually. I'll tell you what, if the stocks aren't up today, they're up tomorrow. Probably up tomorrow because this was announced too late and they're waiting to see what the response to this is. The response to everybody is positive. And for you guys in America, we're going to talk about international. A lot of people want to say, well, what about the UK? What about if I'm international? We'll talk about the international in a second because that's super important too. But in the USA, we're talking right now only, and I will talk about international because it's a little bit different, right? So this is huge. You already pay $9.99 a month for Peacock, right? Or for WWE Network. You're already paying $9.99 for network. Many of us wanted WWE Network to add tiers to it to eliminate ads, right? Because we're sick of ads. Well, WWE Network did not eliminate ads or did not take away ads, and they really honestly ended up flubbing it. We thought they flubbed it, and we were like, why did they bail on the whole ad revenue thing and the incremental increases and things like that? Why did they do that? I don't know. Hey, I love you, Finn. Go upstairs to Mom, though. Ask her. And I don't know why they did it. I'm not sure why it happened, not sure why they did it, but now we know why they did it. They stopped it and they delayed it because they knew they were going to sell. So WWE sells. By the way, subscribe if you're new. Otherwise, I don't know why the hell you wouldn't subscribe right now. If you're new, hit the sub button, hit the like button, hit the share button. Share this everywhere. Reddit, your mom's house, I don't know, Facebook, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. I said Facebook 7 times. I'm a broken record. I'm in a breakdown right now. So, now with the WWE Network selling to Peacock, you will get the ability to actually go up to $15.99 to eliminate all ads. So you can eliminate all ads for $15.99, and you get all of the Peacock stuff. Everything on Peacock Network, plus the WWE Network, and you eliminate ads. Or you're paying $9.99 for WWE Network anyway, and if you're keeping that network subscription or you want to keep it, you're also going to get all of Peacock's library. So this is great news for you and me. So if you were going to get Peacock anyway, now you just saved yourself $10. And let's say you're like, well, I'm done with all of it. I'm done with WWE Network. I'm done with Peacock and everything. Good, because now you can sign up for my Patreon for $5 a month. If you're going to save $5, you might as well jump over here to my Patreon, where I provide podcast content with me, my wife, Jake, Jesse, Drew, and so much more, all on my Patreon, patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Jake and Joe podcast, 2 hours last week. It was fucking fire. I hope you didn't miss it. The UI, what does this mean for the UI? The UI integration, it's all terrible. Like, let's be honest. The WWE Network made slight improvements, and then they made adjustments that made it worse. So the WWE Network was really bad, and then it got a little better, and then it got like better, and then it got like better in some ways and worse in another. Search is terrible on the WWE Network. Really bad. Not very good. It's okay, but not really. So, Peacock is also not very good. I got to believe, though, that they'll get it right eventually, and they'll get it right faster and better than the WWE Network would have. What's up to Joe in the chat? What's up to Todd Williams? I'd assume Peacock would host pay-per-views. Yes, Peacock will host pay-per-views. The first one is Fastlane, but the big launch is obviously this year's WrestleMania. That's right. They're going to launch WrestleMania on the Peacock Network this year. Right now, it's happening. $1 billion deal. $1 billion deal. This is so good for all these guys. It's almost unbelievable right now. So good for WWE, so good for the wrestlers, so good for the company. The company is going to make a shit ton of money. Once again, WWE putting out the worst product in the history of WWE. Now, that's maybe an opinion, but what you can't argue is this is one of the lowest draw before COVID, WWE is at one of the lowest draw rates it's ever been at. Least interest it's ever been at. Least viewership it's ever been at. That's not even debatable now. That's how it was and how it's been going. WWE product is absolutely atrocious. From the over-scripting to the bad wrestlers who don't know how to talk, to the lack of personalities, to the over-direction of Vince McMahon, and the writing and the production is overproduced, so produced it doesn't seem real or anything close to real. This is the worst time, make no mistake about it, in WWE history creatively and product-wise. However, once again, financially, the WWE does financial gymnastics, as always, to make this stuff just somehow continue to be super profitable. It's almost unbelievable how they do this. Like, very crazy. Shit bum!
WWE Network took my money 2 days ago. There goes my 9.99.
Well, no, Gerald Armstrong, because you would actually get Peacock, though, so then you're actually getting double it then, right? Gerald Armstrong? Thank you, Gerald. I got to fix that title there, because that's Gerald does barely see it. I got to fix that. Gerald Armstrong, man, thank you so much, brother. Good to hear from you. And thank you for the $5 and becoming a $5 she-bum. Much appreciated, bro. And now you gave me $5. So look at that. Now you gave me $5. I appreciate that. But you're going to get Peacock, too, so you're going to get all of it. You're going to keep the WWE Network stuff and get Peacock. You become a shit-bum. Shit-bum.
Can I get a birthday shout-out for my daughter, Anna?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God. How old is she? Ryan Nickerson. What's up, Ryan? Happy birthday to Anna. And by the way, Anna is my 7-year-old daughter's, like, she loves Anna because of Frozen, obviously. But Happy birthday to Anna, man. Happy birthday. How old is she? My daughter's 7. And she just had her birthday. Does that mean they're the same sign? Our daughters might have the same sign. So, this is crazy. Vince is out there fleecing everyone, says King James in the chat. Jake, if you're around and you want to come on, man, you can come on, Jake. I didn't even reach out to you at all. I just went live because I was so crazy this morning. 17 inches of snow in Nebraska. I actually thought about building a backyard hockey rink earlier. I'm not even kidding. Like, because the boards are cheap and I've got a liner for free. So I was like, dude, I could just boom, boom, boom. But then I looked at the weather and it's like 28 degrees, 22 degrees, 38 degrees, 40 degrees, 25 degrees, 40 degrees, 40 degrees, 32 degrees, 35 degrees. And it's like, it would never, I don't think that's enough, man. We need a couple of 10-degree, nights, 5-degree nights, and then like it to be 20s and 30s for like weeks. But there's too many like 40s popping up here or there. So I don't think that's going to fly. Ryan and Gerald Armstrong, thank you guys for the donations. Yeah, of course we'll be live tonight after Monday Night Raw right here on the Joe Cronin Show. Getting high to stop vomiting, says Jake. What's up, Jake? I might not. The Peacock content, though, only WWE. Yeah, I mean, listen, if you end up saying to yourself, listen, I don't care about Peacock. I don't care about The Office and everything else Peacock has to offer. I'm only going to watch WWE Network. Well, the good news is it's still $9.99, so you still get it's just there's all this other content there too. But this goes into my theory about the future. I want to flash back and reiterate what I said years ago. And now I could end up being wrong about this or I could be right about it, but I'm reiterating it because I want to keep my sort of prediction from 3 years ago, I think it was, 3 or 4 years ago. This is from 3 or 4 years ago. I had the idea that so many of these streaming services are popping up left and right. Disney Plus, this thing, that thing, the other thing, whatever. That eventually the bubble's going to explode, right? Eventually the bubble's going to burst, right? There's going to be CBS All Access, Netflix, Amazon, NBC Peacock, Cracklecock, like whatever. There's a million of them, right? And, we all can't be subscribed to $10.99 and $9.99 and $30 a month services. YouTube TV, Hulu, Netflix, whatever, right? So, in my opinion, to me, that opens the market for sales. And I'm talking about to people that are 50 and older who don't know anything about what they're doing in streaming. And it also opens up the market to so many people that just can't afford to pay for all these things. And it's sort of like insurance, right? Like insurance, you go to the hospital. Like I go to the hospital and I got a busted leg or something. As I did, I went there with a busted ankle. And they said, yeah, I mean, to do all this, yeah, it'll be about whatever. It'll be $3,000. Your insurance will cover it all. $3,000 to $5,000. Your insurance will cover it. And I was like, okay. And I was like, well, but I don't have insurance. I have no insurance. I can't do $3,000 to $5,000. So I don't know what to do. And they were like, oh, you don't have insurance. And then they come back to me like, oh, it'll be like $900 to $1,200. Why is the price change? You're doing all the same stuff. But you're going to charge my insurance company $3,000, maybe $5,000. But I have no insurance, so you'll charge me $900 to $1,200. When in reality, the amount charged should have been $300 to $500. But you're going to charge me $1,200. Did I say $12,000? I meant $1,200. I'm all problems today. So it's the same thing. Listen, all these services are $9.99 or $20 a month or $15 a month or whatever they are. But at a certain point, the subscriptions are going to slow way down, and they all do. They all have, but they're all going to slow down, and they're going to hold steady. And then the companies are going to say, man, we need to go out there and get all the other people. Where's everybody else? Why do we have 20 or 30 million subscribers? Why don't we have 100 million? There's 370 million Americans. Why don't we have 80 million subscribers? Why do we have 20? Why don't we have 80? Why don't we have 50? Why don't we have 40? Well, they say that they're subscribed to too many other services. They say that you don't have enough content they like. They say that they never heard of it. They say that they don't have the money. Okay, well, we're going to take care of that. So what's going to happen is, I believe, these third-party sales companies are going to call places like NBC Peacock, and they're going to call CBS All Access, and they're going to call Crack Pack 7, and they're going to call all of them, and they're going to say, listen, we have a sales team put together that are going to get people signed up. If we could get you another 1 million subscribers, or another 1 million, or if we could make you whatever the amount is, right? Alexa, what's 2 million times $3?
2 million times $3 is $6 million.
$6 million. If we could make you $6 million a year extra, would it be worth it to you to pay us at whatever? That sort of thing. Yes, they're going to do it. So they're going to package these companies together. They're going to package NBC Peacock, package together whatever, CBS All Access, Disney Channel, whatever. And they're going to be called they'll name their company something like not Netflix or Hulu, but let's say like Gonzo. Yo, you don't have Gonzo? Gonzo's crazy. You get Disney Channel, you get CBS All Access, and you get blah 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 blah. You get all 3 or 4 or 5 of those networks, which are always normally $10 each, but you get them all for $15, and you get all of them. Like, there's going to be companies that come out like that at some point, or these companies will just be absorbed into Netflix or Amazon or whatever. But eventually, I think there are going to be companies out there that sell and that basically create the new cable networks, right? Because right now, cable networks do this. Cable networks offer NBC and CBS and HBO and all the channels. But soon there's going to be companies out there like maybe Comcast will even do it. Maybe Comcast will create a streaming service and an app and a streaming service, and they'll carry Disney Plus and all these other things. Maybe they already do it. I don't know. But that stuff's coming. The bottom line is here. You're going to be able to watch WWE Network for the same price, but they'll be on Peacock. And you're going to get all the Peacock content. I don't know what's on Peacock. Like, I don't know. I know The Office is, and that's it. I don't know what else is on there. Probably like Law and Order and everything and just a bunch of other things. So you're going to get, for nothing, you're going to get all that content as well. But you're also going to get the option to go up to $15. And if you go to $15, you're going to get ad-free everywhere. Now, one of the problems, though, is that the only difference that I can see is that there's going to be more commercials. So that's the only little thing that, $9.99 stays the same. The only thing is you're going to get, Joe in the chat goes, 3 times 2 equals 6. Dude, I'm so unsure of math that I always ask. I always check it because I don't know, man. I always mess up math, which is weird because I'm the better one at it in my house. Doesn't make any sense. Gerald Armstrong, you are top dog, brother. Now, universally, here's the problem internationally. Here's the problem, is internationally. Oh, my God. My mixer's fried, man. When Leah sprayed the whipped cream the other night, I'm hearing all this fuzz in my head, like my earphones. You guys might even hear it over the air, too. Man, this mixer's fried, dude. The whipped cream went into the mixer. Fuck. Dude, this is a $300 mixer. And it's a new one, too, because I broke the last one. Fuck me in the face. I can hear it. You guys might even hear it, too. It's like crinkling, like... Ugh. Maybe you can't. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. It's $4.99 with ads and $9.99 without ads. I thought $9.99 was the ad-free one. It doesn't look like it BAFF, or they're changing something. From what I'm understanding is they're going to $15 for free ads. So from what I understand is that there's a $15 option for Peacock that will get you ad-free, and that it's not ad-free, or that it won't be. They're changing something. Okay, so here's the thing. Internationally, if you're outside the USA, what does this mean if you're outside the USA? Because this is a big difference. So, we got to talk about that. But before we talk about that, we got to go ahead and do the naughty thing. And the naughty thing is to play a donation by Moss Blaze.
Smoke weed every day.
Moss Blaze.
Moss Blaze tipped $4.20. Peacock, you dumbasses, wrestling is dying because WWE is not what it was when I was a kid. I love pro wrestling, it's sad to see it become a gringo soap now. BTW DJ Skank, I know what you did, bro, you fuck. I hope your mixers blow up and you get third-degree burns.
Jesus. I mean, I thought he was talking to me because of the mixer, but he's talking about DJ Scandalous. Moss Blaze going after DJ Scandalous. What the hell's that about? Smoke up, baby. What's up, Moss Blaze? Hope you're having a good time. Gerald Armstrong says, get a VPN. Yeah, you can get a VPN, but I'll tell you what I think is going to happen. I really think that WWE is going to end up doing what Star Trek did, right? Because Star Trek Picard and Star Trek CBS All Access, they went to Amazon internationally. So they put their shows on Amazon internationally. So I'm thinking the WWE will do the same thing. Because WWE goes to Peacock for the USA. They make $1 billion. They've made $1 billion by going to Peacock. So now if WWE makes their I don't know, $100 million deal, $100 to $200 million deal with Amazon, and puts everything internationally on Amazon, then there you go. I mean, I don't know. Maybe someone else has a better idea. DJ Scandalous, I have no idea. I think he's just messing with you. Gringo Soap is pretty funny, though, yeah. I don't see anything about 15 says BAFF. I mean, you might be right. I think maybe I was reading that, though. I read it. That I thought that it was 15. Maybe I read it wrong. If that's the case and you get WWE Network ad-free for $9.99, then that's even better. That's even better than we thought. So now you're really doing well. Make no mistake about it, this helps us all. You know? Yeah, allegedly, if you're already subbed to it, it's going to roll over somehow, but they haven't said that, so we don't know. So people want to talk about what do we not know? What we don't know is how current subscriptions are going to roll over. We don't know how future subscriptions will go. What's up, Jasmine? How you doing? We don't know any of that. We don't know how that's going to happen. We don't know how it's going to work. They've said that they will tell us soon, but they don't know yet. So they don't know yet. That's why we don't know, because they don't know at all. So, Keith Richardson says the current Peacock user interface is bad. Well, I mean, WWE Network's interface is bad too. Which one would you say is worse, though? People with Peacock would have to tell me. But I'm hearing that they're both pretty bad, so it's really not much of a change anyway. I don't think you can get Peacock in Canada unless you have a VPN. So I think if you're in Canada, you may end up actually getting the WWE Network via the Amazon or whoever they put it out with. You know, Amazon or Netflix. It'll probably be Amazon or Netflix that WWE goes with, because they already got their money for the USA network, for the USA market, with $1 billion, you know, to Peacock. Probably internationally, they may go Netflix or Amazon. So we really don't know. Does this mean I'm going to pay money to watch Raw or SmackDown, says Toy Bandit? No. I don't think so. This is just WWE Network moving to Peacock. This is literally like they take the library. I don't think that they're taking the app. So WWE, I don't think, will maintain the app anymore. WWE will just maintain uploading to Peacock's interface, I think. So I don't think WWE will have to maintain its app anymore, because it will just go away and it will now just be a part of Peacock. So when you click on Peacock and it opens up a show, like, say, The Office, and it opens up the seasons and everything, I think WWE Network, when you click on WWE Network, I think it will open up. But that's actually hard, so I just don't know how it's all going to fall into the categories. I don't know how their interface, it's so much content, and it's so different than other things. It's not like, okay, I want to watch The Office. Here's the 10 seasons or whatever it is. Well, that's easy. Episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the seasons. But how do you open up the WWE Network's content? You know? There'll be like pay-per-views, behind the scenes, like, and then countless other things. I don't know. There's so much content, dude. I mean, I guess it would be like pay-per-views, and then you could search by the name of the pay-per-view and by the year, maybe. I guess. We've always talked about the Peacock because, you know, NBC logo. Most people don't even know what that is anymore. You know, when I was a kid, you know, in the 80s we talked about the Peacock. In the 90s, maybe. But last 20 years, nobody says Peacock or talks about NBC's Peacock. Most people see the NBC logo and they go, oh, yeah, I know the NBC logo, but they don't even know it's a peacock. So when you call something Peacock, they go, oh, they didn't even know that that's what that was. Kind of friggin' hilarious, like when you, you think about it.
Shit bum.
Whoa.
Joe, thanks for all you do. Keep on keeping on.
Oh. Yo, thank you, Shardy Janetti. That's our buddy, man. Becoming a $5 shit bum. And he is Shardy Janetti. Shardy Janetti is right up there with Brett the Shitman Fart. It's got to be one of the best names ever. Shout out to Shardy Janetti. May you shart in the wilderness in private. Duncachino, yeah, I'm having one right now. If you guys want, super chat down below. Drop a question for, you know, we're coming down to it's your time, guys. 339-226-6610. Question, comment, rant, whatever. I think I didn't even write the number right. 339-226-6610. I can't even type. 339-226-6610. Super chat down below, or you guys can use the 2 donation links down below if you want. Whichever one you want to use. I'm running a promotion for the Elements, which is down there. You can use that, credit card, PayPal, whatever you want to do, or the Streamlab deal, whatever. You know all the links that all work. They both work. All the new donation amounts are listed down below too. The new ones and the updated ones down below. Check them out, or become a patron if you want. But if you want to ask a question right now, now's the time to do it. Let's go to the patron questions if there are any. Let's find out if there are any. Make sure I didn't miss something. I've gone over everything here, I think. I don't think I've missed anything. There may have been one thing. You know, if I missed something, I'm sorry. And, you know, I'll try to make up for it later or go back to it. Maybe Jake will know in a minute. But let me play this. Well, let me drop the questions real quick. WWE moves to Peacock. These are coming from the Patreon. And it's coming from anybody who is a patron who answered the Q&A I put out, which is... AJ says, do you think stars are overreacting to Taker's comments about the product? That's a separate thing, but no, I think that, okay, so I agree with Undertaker. Totally agree with Undertaker. I think you should call this shit out for what it is. But if you're a star or if you're a wrestler, you absolutely cannot not fight back on those comments and by Undertaker. You can't take that, bro. I'd be even more concerned than I am if wrestlers didn't say fuck Undertaker, you know, like, or F him, he don't know shit. You know, that's what I would say if I was a wrestler, because you got to. If you don't do that, you're agreeing with him, and you're saying like I'm a loser, lazy person, and nobody wants to say that. So I'm actually surprised more people aren't angry. There's only a few people saying it. Drew McIntyre, obviously, he's the champion. He's the one who has to stick up and say something. Roman Reigns recently had to do this years ago, if you guys remember this. So no, listen, they're wrong, and they obviously are just defending their stuff. I'd be concerned if they didn't defend it and be mad about it. So, Jesus Christ, I almost just threw up on myself. Kermac says
they have to be upset by that. They have to defend their product.
You got to defend it. If they didn't, you'd be like, what? It'd be like someone saying something about I guess about your wife or whatever, and you being like, yeah, you're right.
Just let that go by. No, you have to speak up.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, yo, fuck you. You talking about my wife? I'll kill you. Kermac
So
says,
you asked a few questions, and I'm trying to remember what I can, but work with me here. Bear with me. The Peacock layout, the UI, is a mess.
Yeah, sucks.
I've used it both on website, so on my computer browser through Google Chrome, and I've also used it within the Xfinity app itself because we have it free with Comcast. So that's the way that works.
Oh, I was just saying something like that. That's funny that they did.
So
do that.
I don't know if the WWE Network comes with the free subscription that comes with the Peacock Comcast Xfinity deal. I don't know how that's going to work, so I have to find out about that. I guess they're going to post something about that on the Xfinity site afterwards, so that's good. But all in all, it's a good thing because the price is the same, or it's half if you don't want ads, and you get access to House, Harry Potter. Like I said before, there's tons of Law and Order, SVU, all the Chicago Fire drama, Med series, PD, all that stuff's on there. There's a lot of good content basically for you to get access to on top of the WWE Network. Problem is, I prefer the WWE Network layout compared to how Peacock's layout is. That's how bad their layout is.
Wow.
It really is abysmal to navigate through. Just trying to watch House with Courtney, just going from episode to episode was a nightmare because you think it would just play into the next episode. No, it would bring you back out of the menu to the home screen sometimes. And then you have to try and find out. And then to get back where you left off, it would restart. And total just disaster.
Well, how are you going to organize, I guess the good thing about WWE is that it's not really a watch back-to-back thing like House or something.
Yeah,
but
that's their goal, though, because they're setting it up like network scheduled block content. So they're making it into a TV channel, basically, for the network as well. So they're going to keep that on now, as well as feature things. But everything in the future is moving to on-demand content. So soon enough, when you used to watch a TV show at 8 and then at 9 o'clock, another show followed. Now it's just going to be where at 8 o'clock, that show is released. So it doesn't mean you have to watch it at 8, but that's when that's released to the mass public. And everything's going to be just on demand. So there'll be release schedules and premieres, basically. But there's not going to be genuine, tune-in time slots. So they're trying to develop a on-demand network mixed in with some bit of scheduling for people that like that.
Well, that's why people are confused, why? Oh, man, how'd they pay for this? And it's like, well, listen, these other networks aren't as desperate. NBC, Peacock is super desperate for content. We need content.
Yeah.
So, of course, they paid $1 billion.
Netflix has 200 million users. Disney Plus, last I had read, was 80 million. It could have been up since then. And Peacock currently is touting almost 30. That's been their quote, but it's a little over 26 million subscribers. So rounding up, they can say almost 30. But,
and WWE Network only has 1.5.
Yeah, less than 2 million.
And so, but this is why it's good for WWE, because this is why WWE is they're like magicians. People oh, they're going to go to Netflix and whatever. And we talked about this a year ago, or almost maybe 2 years ago, that Netflix was basically looking for the WWE Network for $500 million, so $500 million, and they got $1 billion. So we were like, oh wow, that's a good amount of money, and the network is it's because this is crazy. You're trying to sell to your own subscribers. I guess I don't know what the correlation of the example is, but in a way the example is my Patreon, right? I have Patreon. You guys, 312 of you guys are my patrons, right?
Yeah.
What if Sirius Satellite Radio is yo, we want the Joe Cronin Show on Sirius Satellite Radio, and we're looking for content. Joe, we'll give you $150,000 a year, or Joe, we'll give you $100,000 a year to bring a show to Sirius, and I can keep my YouTube stuff for the most part. But it's oh, you got to come to Sirius, because there was a guy not that long ago that left. He was doing a podcast, and he left doing the podcast to do Sirius, and he was making $60,000 a year on ad revenue on his podcast. He only did a podcast. He didn't use YouTube, whatever. And he got a $150,000 contract. So obviously he said yes. And so dude, if you told me oh, you $150,000 to Sirius, I'd shut down Patreon, because You know what I mean? A year on Patreon is not even close to $150,000 a year from a big company. It's the same sort of thing. So WWE in-house $1.5 million. That's good. You sold the $1.5 million to your customers. That's really good. You sold to really about 70 to 80% of the people that watch your product bought your network. That's pretty good, although that's actually not as good because it's
Indie
so
racing,
down.
I guess, in full is coming to Peacock as well. Practices, warm-ups, qualifying, full events, replays.
Whoa.
Every race at Indy Lights races will be moved to a robust library of live sports on Peacock TV as well. So they're picking up whatever they can and as much as they can.
So here's one thing we haven't talked about yet.
That was 51 minutes ago, so that's from IndyCar themselves.
That's super cool. And like I actually like watching that stuff. Here's the thing we haven't talked about. And guys, if you've missed anything on this video, go back to the beginning. I think I covered a lot of stuff. But what we haven't talked about is NHL hockey is coming to the USA Network and it looks like they're going to maybe bump NXT. So they're going to put NHL hockey on the network. That could bump the NXT product because the hockey numbers are going to be similar, if not bigger. But because of contracts, they have to go there. So if NXT ends up leaving USA Network or moving to a different night, will NXT move over to NBC and Peacock? That is really interesting.
And they could send NXT over to the Peacock. They could send it to NBC Sports, maybe. They have other options because they have other channels.
I think Peacock would want it because Peacock would say, "Oh my God,
they could make Peacock NXT exclusive."
Yes, 600,000 people that watch NXT every week,
and they're offering a free trial and some type of the 2 seasons of The Office is free. They're doing a bunch of things with this rollout too for new subscribers, old subscribers. All this they want people to subscribe, and I know it all comes down to watch hours, but still they need the subscribers to generate the revenue. No matter what, the thing that
we got a call. I got a call jumping on. I'm sorry, I don't know if I might have missed it. Did we get him? Yeah, we got him. Sorry,
we got it.
There's a new Skype update, and it's all jacked up. 860 is on the phone. What's up, 860?
What's going on?
Hey, you can hear me?
Yeah, man. What's going on? Yeah,
loud and clear.
Good.
I'm excited. We haven't been able to take calls in ages. Holy shit.
Yeah, calls haven't worked in forever. Yeah, it's crazy.
Hey, Joe. It's Benjamin, actually.
Good shit.
What's up, Benjamin?
How you doing, man?
I'm what?
Listen, man. What's exactly going on with the network being sold? Because I'm trying to figure out, how NBC... I'm trying to figure out what NBC really has to do with WWE Network because as far as I know, they have the Raw contract with USA, and then they have the SmackDown contract with Fox.
I'll tell you right now, it's real simple. Peacock is an app, just like Hulu, CBS Access, just like all those other companies. Peacock has purchased the WWE Network, so all the WWE Network content. It's going to go on Peacock, so you're going to have to download the Peacock app and be a Peacock subscriber for $9.99, but you'll get the entire WWE network of content on the Peacock network and all the Peacock network. So you're basically, if you're a WWE network subscriber, you're getting Peacock for free with it. But you're going to have to use the Peacock's UI instead of the WWE Network UI now, and WWE Network's going away.
So,
you're going to have to download Peacock, and the WWE app is going to use they've always used a location profile. Like if you have your GPS turned off, you can't watch anything on the WWE Network. I don't know if you know that, but if you have your location services, I should say, turned off, WWE Network won't work because they need to know where you are to target, not just specific ads and whatnot, but to know where you are accessing the network because certain countries don't have streaming rights, like Canada. They have their own specific issue. They have to get it on a cable network. And they have to watch things like cable, so but you're gonna have to download a whole new app, and your login, I believe, will transfer. But this is a great get for Peacock because think of how much content the WWE Network has on it. Realistically, they have
there's endless
70 years worth of matches, all of the bonus stuff, all of the pay-per-views, all of the Raws, SmackDowns in full. I mean, they have every single Raw and SmackDown on there now, I believe, back up. Pay-per-views. WrestleManias, all of the extra stuff too. Legends House, the ride-alongs and interviews, podcasts. That is so much content. And yeah, I forget who said it earlier in the chat, but it would be pretty much organized into different categories, where it's drama, comedy, romance, WWE. So WWE will have like their own specific. It was TSS too that said it. So yeah, that's basically how it works now.
It's like their own like specific section, basically.
Yes, exactly. It's going to be their own portion of Peacock.
So when does that even go in? Like, when does that go into effect?
They already have. They've had content on Peacock for WWE for as long as I've been
I'm saying,
using
like,
the
when
app.
does it go into effect? Like when do we have to stop?
When does it shut down the WWE Network in the USA for the Fastlane pay-per-view? That's when it's right before that is the soft launch.
You're actually going to be able to. Yeah, you'll be able to watch Fastlane on this.
You're going to have to switch and watch Fastlane on the Peacock app, and then everything will be fully switched over before WrestleMania. They'll have everything accessible.
When is Fastlane, actually?
The month before WrestleMania.
I'll give you the date in a second, but
I think it's March 20th, but Jake will figure it out. Yeah, this is going to be nuts, though, man. You're going to get... I mean, I'm just saying, it's really... The UI on WWE Network isn't very good either, but I would agree.
Yeah.
I think I agree with Jake, because I tried Peacock
March
for a
21st,
second.
Joe.
March 21st. I was off by a day.
That's not too far.
Listen, so it's like... I would say WWE Network is like a 7 out of 10. Like, the interface is like a 7 out of 10. It sounds like...
I agree there. And Gorilla Strong's right. The takeover, the transition begins the 18th.
From like my own personal experience with the network, like what I do is, I don't know if you guys have like a Chromecast or whatever. I use that, and I just cast my app from my phone over to the TV.
Yeah, that's what I did for the Connor fight the other night. It was great too.
The only time I ever cast anything is when I'm using YouTube on my phone, and I'm lazy and I don't want to log in on the TV. But I mean, I just hate having to sign in too. So I know what you're saying. I see some people do Chromecast a lot. I can't figure out Chromecast though. I can't get it to work for me, so I don't even do it. Thanks for the call, man. Let's go to a donation real quick. Here it comes. Shit bomb. Thanks, Benjamin. You become Michael Sachs Shit Bomb Jr.
What will happen to Raw if they start put hockey?
What happens to Raw if they start putting hockey on? Well, I don't think that's going to happen for Raw. But it's definitely...
Raw is not part of this deal. As far as I understand, Raw with the USA Network is a separate deal worked out entirely. That was already previously negotiated, and they can't move anything for Raw, I think, is part of the WWE deal.
He's worried about the NXT. He's talking about, like, because...
Yeah, NXT was signed long after the Raw deal.
Mm-hmm.
Raw deal is already, like, that's its own point. That's a specific, separate contract. So it's funny to think. They have this $1 billion Saudi deal. They have this $1 billion, Fox deal. They have this multi-million-dollar Raw deal. Now they have this $1 billion network deal. Think about how many deals that is right there alone. And I know I left something out somewhere.
Dude, this is just like the housing market right now with like
they have so much money.
What is going on, dude? Like, it's like what I bought this house. Like, I'm up against it trying to pay for this house. I got into this house barely somehow. Here we are barely paying the whatever. And yet now my house is worth $250,000 more than it was. It's like, dude, my friend just sold his house. My friend lives up the street in a smaller house than me by far. His house is actually like half the size of this house. His house just sold for the price I paid for this house. And I've had offers from people, including banks, for $600,000 to my house that I live in now, because everyone's trying to get out of the city to get here. And my mother's actually having trouble selling her house because there's not a lot of buyers near the city. They're trying to get out of the city.
Everybody wants to get to the suburbs. They want away from cities.
Yeah, it's crazy what's going on right now. So this is what WWE is doing. They're taking advantage of the whatever you call it, not the system,
the desperation of Peacock needing content. And the reason that everyone's so focused on the streaming market right now and companies are so reliant on it is because of the pandemic. People are home, so they're going through content at a rapid pace. So they're looking at content like it's worth more than gold.
Right.
You know, essentially, because people aren't going to come to your network and subscribe if there's nothing there for them to watch, and they're not going to keep subscribing if you don't keep giving them things to watch.
Well,
Netflix had a terrible drought. Remember, years and years ago, they had an issue with this where they weren't putting out new movies. It was all B-rated junk movies. That's all Netflix was known for. And then they got that huge influx of money and you know, backer support, and it was like, oh, they started donating into themselves. They're like, we're going to make our own content. Let's make our own shows. And things became a hit. Stranger Things, you know, things like that. Everything got big, and they became so in demand. Now they're the top dog everywhere. But
these other guys are just trying to make an easy buck. It's like Netflix created all this content, but it's like what they're doing is, instead of having to produce
they're even
movies,
operating at a loss still, I believe, right? Wasn't that what we discussed
Probably.
with Netflix? Like they were in a negative even with all the money they're making?
Probably.
But TSS made a point before saying this is WWE admitting that their WWE network was a failure under their watch.
No, it's not. It's not
disagree.
a failure. Absolutely
I think
not.
This is an ultimate success.
Yeah,
I think
this is a
Vince
huge
looks at this as the
success.
biggest win ever.
Yeah.
They still own their content. They're not selling their WWE network.
This is the biggest
They're just
win ever.
allowing them the streaming rights.
Dude, WWE
So they
just
still
kicked
own everything.
ass.
This is just a 5-year streaming rights deal. So all they're doing is giving them the keys to the WWE network, not the kingdom.
Yeah.
They don't
This
own
is
this content. They don't own anything. They're just, it's like WWE's a video store and you just rented them out. That's essentially what happened.
WWE
Cool.
WWE just literally like destroyed. Like they went from making whatever the hell whatever they were making on the network before, which was like $200 million or something like that, to making $1 billion.
Well, in 5 years, yeah, maybe they would have made 200 million. That's if that. I don't think they were making 20 million or 40 million a year, but that's, you know, it could happen. But point being, as of right now, this is not a failure for them whatsoever.
No,
WWE
this is the big win.
has to do nothing for this. They
Dude.
are not. They don't have to design anything. They don't have to make a new app. They don't have to make a new star. They don't have to make a new show. They don't have to do anything different.
Let me put in perspective, everybody. Let me put this in perspective real quickly for you. The WWE was making $12 million a year. They were making $12 million a year from the network. $12 million a year. They just made $1 billion.
Well, it's 200 million a year. So they're going from 12 to 200 million. So it's a 5-year deal for $1 billion. And then, like Gorilla just said as well, they went from an app that had a little over 1 million users, 1.5 million, to over 20 million, you know, almost 30.
It's 20 million.
And they got paid $200 million a year for that. That's a huge win. You just, you know, took your audience by, you know, what, 2,000% went up and maybe more. And they got paid to do so. So they opened up their content, and this is a great thing for them because WWE is now hoping that of those 20+ million users and subscribers at this point in time, they're hoping that someone sees the WWE featured daily content, and you know they're going to feature The Rock, Stone Cold, all those type of, you know, nostalgia-driven things.
I added ad revenue. It's 16 million. 16 million a year with ad revenue, but now it's 200 million a year.
Now it's 200 million just for this. Plus, but here's the thing: it's just the USA rights. There's still, we don't know how many subscribers are just USA only.
Right.
They're still getting the money for the network outside of the United States for all their subscribers. The network stays up just like it is and has been operating. So everything you have now is going to stay the same if you're out of the United States. If you're in Australia, if you're in Mexico, if you're in Canada.
By the way, I got word.
Subscribe as a cable provider, but, you know, Europe is the same way. Everything is, you know, Sky Sports there.
I just got word that they're not including the 3%. So I got word from somebody who sent me this email, who he's been right before, 3% for ad revenue share. So if Peacock runs ads on the network, on the WWE stuff, WWE gets 3%. Now, that's not a lot, and it'll probably only be about $1 million a year, $2 million a year. But, hey, man, that's a Roman Reigns contract. So, boom.
But that's what I'm saying. I hope it trickles down to the wrestlers some way, shape, or form. I'm doubting it, but we'll see.
Let me run back to the donos
usually
real
doesn't
quick.
ever affect the wrestlers. That's the thing. This could buy $200 million a year, could get every single wrestler health care for the next rest of their lives, and all of the legends that are still alive get them health care too, with money left over.
This is an amazing deal, guys. Listen, if you've been listening to me live, watch my video from the beginning to the end. I went over all this stuff, and we're still going over it. This is an unbelievable deal. You guys are going to basically get Peacock for free if you're a WWE Network subscriber, because you're going to be on the Peacock. WWE is going to profit a ton. This doesn't mean that WWE is great, like the product is great. No, it's still terrible. It's trash. It's the worst it's ever been. But these are the biggest snake oil salesmen ever right now, and it's amazing. Dude, they're selling like, hey, we'll come to Saudi Arabia for $1 billion. We'll come there. And guess what, Jake? Do you know what's going to happen next? There's going to be stadiums and other places that are looking for content that they don't have because of COVID. And you know who can perform live when the sports aren't there to do it because of COVID? Like the WWE.
WWE, and they're willing
Arizona, Florida, like, oh my God, dude, they're going to make profit on that.
They're going to do like what they used to. They're going to travel in separate pairs, essentially. They're going to have people that I want to talk about this around nowhere as well, but we didn't get to really flesh this out. One of the ideas they had is they wanted to go ahead and have everyone form into teams so they can send groups to do house shows here, house shows there, and they would do like mini versions. So they'd send half of Raw to Pittsburgh and the other half to, Philly. So they're still near each other, but they're all in Pennsylvania, but they could do 2 shows, smaller shows, and just do like mini Raws, non-live things, and then set up for Raw again, because they don't want to do normal house shows, but they're thinking, if they can get extra money to do these type of things, it's something that they talked about and considered.
Right. Absolutely.
And I can see them not wanting to do live shows, but then doing live shows. You never know.
Yeah, no. I can see what they're going to do, dude, and you're right. And we've been right about this. They're not going to do these live house shows anymore, but what they will do probably is these special events, special house show events, or special whatever the hell you want to call it, all over the place. And it'll probably be locally, probably companies. There may be sponsorships, too. We may start seeing finally sponsorships, like Fritos, presents WWE Live on the Peacock network from Amsterdam College or something, because
we won't see the wrestlers get sponsorships directly. I mean, Punk tried that, and that's one of the things that got him a lot of heat. He was pissed that Lesnar could do it, but Lesnar came in with those obligations, and that was one of the things Vince fought against, I guess. But lo and behold, we'll see what happens, But I could see that happening where they have like full-on sponsorships for each match individually too. This, like they have Cracker Barrel for AEW, their match. I could picture WWE being like the Mountain Dew ladder match, that kind of thing.
Right.
I could see that night and day.
I'm assuming the stocks are going to go up tomorrow. So if people are wondering about the stocks, I don't know. I mean, I'm not technically a stock expert. I just know what I know. Let me go take a look at my stocks right now, actually.
I imagine the stocks will see quite an increase for this, because this is huge. That's such a massive influx of revenue for WWE for doing nothing. I cannot stress this point enough. God damn it, they did nothing. They didn't have to do anything for this. That is the most brilliant business move ever. And for whoever was asking before, February 21st, 2021 is the Elimination Chamber date. That's at Tropicana Field as well, same as the Fastlane pay-per-view. So
okay, WWE stock. So maybe it is going to go down. Here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing about WWE stock. WWE stock, when the network was announced, went crazy high, and as the network came out, launched, and kept going, WWE stock just went nuts. It went from $10 to all the way up to $90 at some point, and now it was at $58, $60 a week ago or so, and now today it's been crashing down. I would have thought the stock would have gone up, but maybe it won't go up because the investors who invested in it were there because they believed in the network and where that was going to go and how it was going to propel for them.
That's a good point.
So,
maybe people are upset with this. And
yes, so stockholders thought that they were involved in this situation and the profits in the future. So you are actually seeing the stock go down, and And that potentially is because the network was sold, because the network launch and the network itself was profitable. Now you get rid of the network. Now they're dropping. So what's profitable for WWE?
I thought the stock was going down because Vince Russo was talking about how Sesame Street has better characters than Raw.
Probably that too. Probably that's the real reason. But
J-Rod, you will have to have a new account for, I believe it's not your same username and password. I think you need a Peacock account.
Yes.
Specifically, and you have to go ahead and subscribe there.
They don't know yet. They have said, we don't know if your network will roll you in. I believe they're trying to work on something that
you can sign in.
Yeah, like WWE
Problem is, it's
Network.
Not everybody. It's only United States, so they're trying to work this out.
Well, so you basically, we don't know. They don't know yet. They said they don't know. They don't know if they're going to roll you into WWE Network.
Will be on pay-per-view and Peacock, definitely. That, it starts on the 18th, a few days before the pay-per-view, but the pay-per-view will be live on Peacock on the 21st.
So they're saying they don't know if they're going to roll you into the network, so the app could become Peacock. They could actually set it up so that there's an update, and then like your WWE Network becomes Peacock. Or if there's going to be like a message that comes up that says like, hey, the WWE app no longer works. Please download Peacock, and they might even link it or something like that. And they don't know yet. They're discussing how they're going to do it. So there is no answer to that yet, really, that anybody can really give you. They're going to tell us in February, they say.
Yeah, and WWE, I agree with Gorilla Strong. They should do these type of deals everywhere, worldwide. BT Sports in the UK, he mentions Telemundo in Latin America, etc. That would be the best idea for WWE to get into all this content, because like TSS says, they can't do it themselves. And do you need to cancel your WWE subscription? Yeah, Queen Latoya. Don't do it yet, though. Don't do anything yet till they make it official. Don't cancel. Unless you're pissed off about this, you want to cancel. That's up to you. But I would wait. Don't cancel.
They're probably going to give you a discount or free access.
They might give you some type of trial thing, and
they're probably going to give you. I wouldn't be surprised, Jake, if they offered, hey, free month of Peacock to all the WWE people coming from WWE Network. Welcome to Peacock. It's free for the month. Enjoy WrestleMania free or whatever. Or maybe they won't do that. They'll charge for Mania. But I don't know. But probably something like that. I've talked about this for years, that I think there's going to be bundles. Eventually, these companies will get knocked down, because I see everybody out there is worrying like, oh my God, you got fucking Disney Plus, Hulu, Netflix, Peacock, CBS All Access. Eventually, the bubble's going to burst. Eventually the bubble will burst, and there'll be a company called Horizon that comes out, and they offer all the networks for like $20, or they'll all go to YouTube TV or something. Eventually something like that's going to happen. The dam's going to break, that people can't have 9 different things, or whatever. Amazon will buy them all up, probably, is really likely. Disney, Amazon, and Netflix are probably going to end up eventually like buying a lot of these companies out, or hosting them all. So like WWE Network sells to Peacock, right?
Yeah.
And eventually you could see Peacock sell to Netflix or to Amazon. So like
and it just kind of has this trickle effect where it just continues forward and forward, and eventually Disney owns everything.
Yeah, basically Disney or Amazon owns everything.
But TSS made another great point too, and I have to agree with him. This is a great win for WWE, not just for their money, but for fans, really.
Get out.
Because if you didn't have the money before, like Tommy would always complain, I don't have the WWE Network. Speaking of which, he should be hitting me up any day now because his subscription runs out. For them, the last one
that
I bought
fuck
for
himself. He says our audience are scumbags.
Oh, I don't plan on getting
Joe Cronin show. Joe Cronin show fans are all scumbags, but then he tells other people he loves their community. But yet that's my community.
On the charity stream, remember he won that 3-month account, and that was in October. So November, December, January, his time's up. He should be knocking at my door any time now. So
I bet.
Point
but
being,
we're all scumbags.
TSS is right though. Now people have a $5 option with ads. And from what I read, the ads will not affect pay-per-view live streams.
Okay,
so that's good.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it makes sense because they can't
It'll affect regular content. So what happens is if you're watching like an
old pay-per-view.
WrestleMania last year, in between matches, you'll probably get some type of ad thrown in, just like YouTube does and other things. CBS, you know how they did it, where they had like small chunks of breaks. It'd be like ad 3 of 7 kind of idea. They might do that once or twice. So we'll see what happens, but. HBO Max.
Yeah,
Eddie Gomes says, that's true as well.
I talked about a lot of stuff on this video, guys, so make sure you guys, if you need to, go back to the beginning of this video, rewatch the whole thing again if you need to later, or rewind it now, whatever. I talked about so much stuff, guys, and we're going to talk about more of it. We got a lot of donations coming in here. Let me play these.
Yeah, we got to catch up.
So are they gonna stop producing originals? It said 1 a year or something.
Alexa Sweet ass, I would assume that the originals would come down quite a bit. I would assume that originals would, the production of originals would go down. I would think that right now they will produce original content for the WWE Network. They'll probably produce about 30% of what they do now. So literally,
they're switching a lot of it over to
WWE.com, YouTube.
Reactions. They just actually had like The Rock and Mick Foley reminiscing about their match, and they do stuff like that's their goal. So
WWE
here on YouTube, they're talking about their match on Twitter. So WWE put up the match in full on YouTube, things like that. Yeah,
I think you're going to see a lot of this. A lot of this allows now WWE to focus on social media, which they didn't really get to do before. They're putting so much stuff behind a paywall. So now they get a
NXT
billion.
Will remain on USA Network and available WWE Network via the next day replay. So that's staying as well for 1 year.
Right. So they get $1 billion sale, which is awesome. They make a bunch of money. And now they can produce content to put it on YouTube to hopefully go viral, get ads, and build their YouTube, build their social media, whatever else, probably do meme stuff, and they can still produce individual content for NBC, whatever. But yeah, they're probably way down in production. You're probably right, way down in the production. Let me see what else we got here coming in. Shit bomb! Spaz Phoenix, you become a shit bomb. Check them out.
Listening live from my damn forklift pancake.
Oh, you're on a forklift? I used to drive a forklift when I was 11, Spaz Phoenix. When I was 11, 12, and 13, I drove a forklift when I had to work at my mother's boyfriend's idiot's boating company thing. Liz, thank you, man, for listening.
It's just funny that he's driving around in his forklift at work listening to us,
That is funny.
It always makes me chuckle when I know people are listening to us at work to get a bit of a break from their hectic day-to-day BS. So what's up, Spaz? Sexy bastard.
Yeah, man. I mean, dude, I used to listen to so much at work. I know.
Me too.
8 hours. I'd be there for 8 hours.
I remember my grandmother found this thing at a gas station. It was this little black and white small USB stick, and she had no idea what it was. So she brought it home to me. She's like, "Is this anything important?" I'm like, "Oh, that's a little MP3 player." And it took one AAA battery, and it held maybe 25 or 30 songs. And you can plug it in the computer. So every day I would just cycle out different, like one podcast or a few different songs and stuff like that. And I had that thing for years. Loved it. It was great. But that's what I used to listen to when I drove. I didn't have a forklift job, but I used to drive people from their car to the front of the building at a fancy catering place for weddings and things like that. So I'd have to chauffeur people like to and from the door and be the bathroom attendant. It was fun. I was the chef.
Did you shake for them? Shake it for them?
I shake, rattled, rolled, and sang. It was beautiful.
Well, we got another one rolling in here from more people, more donations. Thank you guys for the donations. James Gentry, you become a shit bomb.
NHL playoffs could bump Raw.
Ooh, that's a good point. I didn't think about the playoffs. I still don't know, though. I mean, man, Raw is a rough one to move, but you're right. That maybe could happen, but yeah, that could happen, but oh, man, I don't know. I'm trying to think of the schedule in my head. I don't think so, though. I still don't think they won't.
I hope not, but I don't think it's happened yet, has it?
No, it could, but you become a shit bomb. Yeah, that's rare.
Considering WrestleMania is in Tampa and having fans, could SummerSlam also take place in the same location of Boston where it was supposed to last year?
Alex Oli, thanks for the $5. I doubt it because you got to think, Florida is very more Republican and right-wing, and they have more of a, let's open up a little bit and try to, you know what I mean? Let's try to allow people to still do things. Let's open up a little bit. Plus, Florida took the brunt of the pandemic already, like very hugely. So, like Florida's the percentage of Floridians who got infected with COVID is way higher than the amount of people infected in Massachusetts. So Florida's going to build up a tolerance faster. They've got more vaccines than a lot of people because of their elderly population. So Florida's in the position that more people are going to have the immunity to COVID and the vaccine, and more people have already gotten it, and they're right-wing leaning, so they're more for small business and businesses and entrepreneurs and trying to like manage life with the pandemic, whereas I'm in Massachusetts, which is a more liberal state. Obviously, California and New York are way more extreme. They're like the worst. Like California is the worst. They are so far left. They're like, we'll kill your business and your family and everybody to keep you off the streets from doing the pandemic because there's a pandemic. So they're the opposite. I would say Massachusetts is a little more like Florida in a way that they're left-leaning, but they're just around the middle left-leaning. They're not like Arizona. Arizona's like, fuck it all. We don't care. Die. We're going out to do business. We don't even care. So Massachusetts, maybe by August it's possible, but I'm going to lean towards no. I'm going to say that if SummerSlam was in Florida, yes, it would take place in Florida. If SummerSlam was in Arizona, yes, it would take place in Arizona. But if SummerSlam was in New York, Boston, or California, definitely no to California, definitely no to New York. Boston, almost, you never know. The governor is a Republican. We actually have a Republican governor in Boston, or whatever. And we got a new mayor coming in. I don't think that's going to happen. I think next year it's possible. I think this year it's more likely you'll see SummerSlam in Florida, and you'll see SummerSlam maybe return to Boston if they decide to next year.
If it's better by then, yeah.
Yeah, next year,
It'll be the year after. They're going to stay Southern or Midwest depending on who allows them to open and who allows them to have fans. Yeah. Once they have fans come back once and they get a taste of that live crowd, they're not going to want to go back. Just like AEW wasn't, they did it that one time originally, then they weren't supposed to afterwards, but they continued and then they just loved it. They knew there was a difference, and that makes their shows. Because you think about the other night, if you watch it back, if there wasn't a crowd, I gave that, a 5.5? Probably would have been a 3 if it was a Thunderdome show.
Yeah.
The audience makes a difference, especially that opening match is as fun as it was better because of the live crowd. I wouldn't have cared about a stupid Luther cake spot if you didn't hear the fans and everybody freaking out for it. So, apparently WWE hired Hideki Suzuki. So, he was last wrestling in Big Japan Pro Wrestling. So, that's a good sign for them, I guess. I mean, he's 40, but I'm not sure what their plans are. But Lacey Evans posted a really sexy lingerie photo on her Twitter with a picture of Ric Flair's face over the Bernie meme sitting behind her.
It's awesome.
It is hilarious and sexy at the same time. It's a great photo, so you got to make sure you check that one out.
Yeah, I got to take a look at that. I want to get down on that face. Listen, somebody brought up the deaths something about the East Coast and deaths. Let me just give you a little chart right here. New York is the worst. California is the second worst. Why is that? Now I know that I saw people saying this was because the dumb liberals or whatever. Here's the reason, guys. It's the same reason we have the Electoral College. It's because look, New York has the most people, California has the most people. You get the most deaths. It's not rocket science. They were trying to say, oh my God, the USA has the highest numbers in the world. Yeah, we have the most people compared to. They're like, oh my God, the USA has way more deaths than Germany. Yeah, no shit. Germany is a little place. The United States is a huge fucking place, you idiots. So, like, look at this, dude. New York and California, the biggest states in America, they're the top deaths. Then Texas, number 3. Texas is Republican. But you know why? Because Texas is one of the biggest states after New York and California. Then Florida. Florida was some of the most people packed into one little tiny spot. New Jersey's after that. Chicago, Illinois. Pennsylvania. Michigan, and then Massachusetts. Massachusetts is on there. But listen.
Joe, I've got to interrupt you. I don't do this often, but this is important. Can you please go to Charlotte Flair's Twitter?
Okay.
This is important. I'm dying over here.
Oh, my God.
So Lacey Evans posted that lingerie photo, and Charlotte replied. But the reply
oh, my God.
Oh, the irony of all things
God.
for her to reply with. puts up a Peacock. Oh, the donation now. I wish it was back over. We need that to chime in.
I got to get that. I got to find the donation.
Oh, we have got to get that. Well, of all things for her to tweet out, she throws out a Peacock. What's the irony in that one? She has to be watching. I'm telling you. She knows.
Watching? What do you think she's watching?
No, I'm just kidding. But
she's watching porn. Is what she's watching.
We've always had the Peacock donation with her for years, and then when they buy out Peacock, it's just the I know she.
Well, because she's
the
a
irony
Peacock.
there is hilarious.
Where's the clip from that donation originally? I think it's somewhere. Didn't TSS get that? Let me go look. I swear to God, he's got it in his top moments.
I know he does on one of them for. I think it was out of nowhere. Top moments.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't think he did top moments either. I think he. I thought it was just on there. Maybe it's not. You're right. I don't see it. What year was it?
No.
Was it 2017? I thought it was 17.
I thought it was 16, but maybe it was 17.
Oh,
yeah,
maybe.
it had to have been 17.
Oh, maybe it's not there. I
But
swear
that
to God,
Peacock,
he had it.
I just couldn't stop laughing.
Oh,
the
my God.
gobbledygooker, you know.
Yeah, I can't find it. I swear to God, he put that on the top thing.
That's hilarious.
Oh, that's too bad. I thought it was there.
I have to thank the one and only Trailbound for sending us that. I missed it originally, so thank you, Trailbound,
Thanks.
so much.
I'm gonna die, Trailbound. Trailbound sent me something funny earlier too, and I don't remember what it is now, but I'm gonna go look actually while this donation plays. Shit bum. You become Spaz Phoenix. Shit bum. Oh my God, Spaz.
I'm on NXT Harlem.
Well, Spaz Phoenix is trying to get me taken down off of YouTube so he can do his show only, and there's no Joe Cronin. Had to mute that. Spaz, thanks for the $6.99 though, man.
Thanks, Baz. Yeah.
I'm trying to put Jake on the streets. I gotta ban that word now. Charlotte, thank you, Charlotte. What's up, Charlotte? You become Federico Pacheco.
How do y'all
Finn.
question, what do you think if it's possible that WWE will do Invade Raw like AU invading Impact? The choir love to know.
What do you think? WWE invade ROH like AEW invade? I don't care for any invasion, Federico.
No.
I don't care for any invasion. And Ring
Joe,
of
if I
Honor
was going to have
sucks.
any invasion, you know what I would have? I would have AEW invade WWE. And I would have booked it to the moon. You know, I would have done something so gritty and like, but it would never fly for real. But if you were going to have like, you know, a magic lamp and you get your one wish, what would it be kind of idea for wrestling fans? I would do an amazing full-on, that could be so great to have a real a war of an invasion between two rival factions. Think about the clash of, like, you know, you set it up at Mania this year and it builds to next Mania, and that Mania is like side versus side, and you do the actual, you know, WWE wins in the end, but AEW gets so much publicity out of it that they, you know, benefit as well. So Vince is happy that his guys look strong. You can build new stars and you have everybody take on everything. I think that would be awesome. Mixed talents. I mean, think of all the dream matches you can get out of both rosters.
It would. The reason why
for one show, and you build it up over the course of a year.
Spaz Phoenix, thanks for becoming top dog. Come here, buddy, for a second. The reason why I would allow it and why I would go with that was because I would pitch it like, basically, we need to save wrestling. Forget about WWE versus AEW, guys. You know, you're on the phone with AEW and you're like, listen, forget about like us fighting each other. The audience is dead. We need to do something. Like, we need to come together, not have a war like back in the day, because there's not enough people to have a war. We need to help each other grow. So if they did an invasion like that, that'd be kind of like a love letter to fans in a way, instead of these two companies sort of competing for the bottom of the barrel that's left out there to even be done. Because that's what's going on. What's up, buddy? How are you?
No, I agree. But I think that would save wrestling.
You got a football? Does that look like a football, Jake? That don't look like a football. It looks like a Spider-Man
That doesn't
basketball.
look like a football.
Looks like a Spider-Man basketball. Say, booyah!
Boyo!
What's on your face? Did you eat a donut?
He's like, I ate 5.
Give me thumbs up.
You got to do haircut, huh?
You're so cute. All right, I got to go back to doing my show.
Can I play with me?
I'll play with you. Yeah, I'm going to come play with you in a minute.
When?
You smell like a baby, and I like You never smell, baby smell? Just the best. It's like a little baby smell. Like
Okay, now you just smell my ear.
Tell your dad. Call your dad, Daddy Biden.
Go play. I'll play in a few minutes. I'll play catch.
Sniffing.
Give me
He's sniffing
five.
you.
Give me
Every time he
five.
sniffs you, call him Daddy Biden.
Come here. Come here.
No, run.
You
Don't
see
let
that?
him smell you.
You see that, Donald? I'll get that. You get down, I'll give you push-ups. Because I'll get down, I'll give you. You try to make me, I'll do.
Run, buddy. Run.
Yeah, I remember we went to a spirit cooking
Trying to
con.
steal your
I
essence.
just smell my ear again.
Because Uncle Joe, we went to a spirit cooking party a couple weeks ago. There's a baby there who smelled like you, but he wasn't breathing.
And now
Go get your ball. I'll play catch with you in a few minutes, all right? I'll come play catch in a minute. I've been around all day. I only worked for like the last hour. I can't have enough. Dude, did you see the clip they put out of Biden? Like where, they said that Trump said like the military sucks and they should go in the grave, or like they're losers, right? They're losers. But like somebody released the video earlier of Biden actually saying the military sucks. And it's like, it's just, you can't make this stuff
Oh
up.
my God.
There's no,
You just
there's
can't.
no video of Trump saying, and I'm not a Trumper. I'm not trying to be a Trumper here.
No,
I'm just
no,
saying,
no,
like,
I know,
I
but-
can't stand the hypocrisy. Like, there's no video or audio of Trump saying the military soldiers are losers and they should die or whatever. But there is video of Biden saying, like, hey, you guys suck and stuff. It's just hilarious. Like, dude, the hypocrisy.
I believe it was a joke when he said
No,
it.
it
but
was.
still.
Yeah, it was. But you know what? There's no audio of Trump saying anything. Although he probably did say
Exactly,
it.
so-
He probably said it. But it's funny. Like it's really funny. Yeah, it was. It's like one of those hard. Just being hard ass like a military does. They're very hard on each other. I get it, but it's like, oh, I have all these excuses for Joe, but we don't even have audio of Trump saying it. But we're just gonna say he did it. It's just funny. Like, I mean, the world's a wreck. And speaking of the world being a wreck, erect. The world's erect. Didn't someone say erection the other day on politics? They were like, the inauguration or something like that. Somebody said erection. It was really funny. I don't know, man. It was really hilarious. But
I don't know.
I don't know. It was really funny. We got more donations popping in. Let me see. So we've talked a lot about the network. Real quick, just to recap, just real quick, real fast, before I play the donation. Let me just say to you, WWE Network is moving to Peacock. It's going to be $9.99, same
In
amount
the
you
USA
pay.
only.
In the USA only, same amount you pay, $9.99 over at
With
Peacock.
no ads.
No ads.
If
WWE
you
Network's
want
there.
ads, then you can get it for $4.99, half the price.
Half the price, you get ads. So I was wrong earlier. I thought there was a $15 tier. That's not happening. That also explains why WWE Network shut down those tier options they were working on.
Yes,
because boom,
they
they're
were
selling.
working on it. But we've been talking about them trying to be bought out for the last year and a half. So-
Right. Now, before we thought Netflix was going to buy, we thought Amazon was going to buy for $500 million. That did not happen. Instead,
Nope.
Peacock buys for $1 billion.
And
So
the last one we mentioned was
WWE,
Peacock, funny enough, because of their connection with USA already.
you're right. Oh, they have already an NBC connection. We wouldn't think.
That's
But,
what I'm saying. So that's why we said with the USA Network connection to NBC Universal, we assumed that that's what would happen, and we were right.
NBC is WWE is going to make now $200 million a year, as opposed to
Guaranteed for 5 years.
$16 million a year, which is what they were making. So they're making a shitload of profit. This is a huge deal for them. Now they don't have to maintain the network. Now they don't have to worry about trying to get more and more content out. Before they were like, oh my God, we need new shows. We need more stuff to try to get people to get over to the network. Now they don't have to worry about that. They already sold it.
And from what I read as well, the deal is not contingent upon them also fully creating new content. So they'll have the live pay-per-views and things like that. NXT will replay still the day after. But they don't have to make new content. And even if they didn't continue with the pay-per-views, I believe the deal is not fully contingent on new content. It's just them giving them access to the network in full for 5 years. So they necessarily really don't have to do anything different. Because the network just carries over to what they were doing.
I know this isn't wrestling. It's a quick political question from Gazamania. I can't tell you this 100%. Gazamania said, any truth to the picture of Biden signing executive orders with blank pages? Okay, I don't know about that, but what I can tell you is I don't know, but sometimes they do photo shoots. So like the president is about to really sign stuff, so they do photo shoots. If you guys remember, that happened with Trump too. There was pictures of Trump signing like the things, and they were like blank. Yeah,
And it's just because they don't actually have the full documents there in front of everybody. It's just to do it like
It's a ceremonial, whatever, photo op
in
to
effigy
get
you're
the
doing,
pictures.
it's a ceremony type thing, like you're saying. That's it.
Yeah, so like, and they do it early. So sometimes if an hour later he gets all the things and he starts signing them, they've already got a picture, whatever. And so I don't know. That's probably what it is. I don't know though. You'd have to look into that. We'll do that on the
because a lot of times
on the
when you're signing
non-wrestling
those
show.
things, it's not one signature. It's usually like 30 initial points. So you would sit
Or it's
there
Photoshopped.
probably for 25 minutes of him initial here, and you got to have somebody next to him, or unless it's all marked out with posted things like what I mean.
Markers.
Yeah.
You want me to mark out, Jake?
I want you to mark out.
Oh my God! It's a donation from King's Wrestling Talk.
Oh yeah.
Australia too. It's going to be on top.
Hey Joe, what matches you would like to see at SummerSlam this year?
Oh God.
Thanks guys, I'm from Tasmania, Australia. Keep up the great work, love you guys.
Good day, mate. Shout out to Tasmania, man. That's an awesome place to live. In fact, that's cool because what's up, Kings? I was gonna say sweet as, but that's New Zealand. I'm sorry. No, listen, Tasmania, that's crazy. I know people in Melbourne, Brisbane, and Sydney, but I don't remember too many people from Tasmania, so that's really cool, man. Now we got everybody in Australia. If there was a place I would move besides America, besides Canada, maybe Ireland, it would definitely be Australia or New Zealand. One of those two areas. So, like, I love you guys over there. Hope the fires don't happen again this year. Although there's a lot of desert out there, so, it's a very... Am I right? Right? Tasmania is more the desert area. Brisbane, too, right? But I could be wrong. Yeah, SummerSlam now, to talk about SummerSlam is crazy to me because we're still trying to book, Mania. We're still trying to get to, like, Fastlane and Mania and how's all that's going to lead up to. To get into booking SummerSlam, I don't know, man. I would probably do the, I don't know. I have no idea. Because
Let's bring the Undertaker back.
I would.
Who's trying to get you?
I would want 3 big main events. I know that. I want 3 big main events. I'd want like some
For
crazy
what, SummerSlam?
Yeah. 3 big main events.
Is, though, they're
they do
not
2
even
nights.
Focused. They don't even know what they want to do on fucking Mania yet, Joe. We
I
got
know.
2 nights.
That's what I'm saying.
They
How
haven't
can you
even
book it?
finished booking the Rumble though because they haven't finalized Mania.
Right? Yeah.
The Rumble's next Sunday. Usually they know the Mania card already. The last few years is the only time in history that they didn't know the Mania card in full. Last year, I get it because of COVID, so some things had to change. But this year, you already know what's happening. You're ahead of the game. And and that makes sense why they brought back Goldberg and why they try to get The Rock, but that didn't happen. They're trying to bring in a few other big names. But who could that be? I can't think of anyone that's really a big name on the legend side that could wrestle. Can you? Besides Edge and Goldberg, who else do they have access to that AEW didn't already pick up?
I would do Battle of the Spears. Goldberg versus Edge at SummerSlam. Battle of the Spear. Whatever.
That's a good enticing match. People would get behind that.
Randy Orton versus The Fiend in a like death match or something like that.
God,
I don't know.
Keep those two apart from each other.
No more?
By the time we get to SummerSlam, I don't want to see any more with those two, but
Ooh.
I'm officially done with the Fiend's waning on me as well, and I was a huge fan.
I'm not. No, I don't want to see The Fiend.
I think the Fiend can still have
care
a lot
about
of
either one
life
of them.
left in it. Same thing with Alexa, but they're misfiring here. The mishandling of this story is like an epic failure.
Yeah,
John Cena is the other one that they're trying to bring in. He's supposedly a lock. I'd be happy to see John at Mania. We haven't seen him since the Firefly Funhouse, where he basically got eviscerated and his career was, destroyed, and he was fully disseminated by The Fiend, which was an excellent story told. I love that. But their goal for Mania is 2 nights again, so they want 2 big matches each night. So Goldberg, John Cena, Edge. We need really one more. Kane isn't a bad one, but he's more of like a mid-card attraction. I don't think Kane is like... Kane is a reason to stay once you're already there. He's that kind of wrestler. Like, he's someone that keeps fans in the seats, but he's not getting them into the building.
I don't think he's... Yeah, I think he's just a fun thing to see, and maybe not even fun for people now. So,
he's always fun to see live with the pyro, the stage pyro, the arms raising, the corner turnbuckle pyro, and for him to get a choke slam and tombstone, and that'd be cool. Do something small. I'd rather just see him come out in the Rumble. There's a big pile, and his corner pyro goes off, and he shocks everybody. Like, have we ever seen his pyro cause an elimination?
That'd be hilarious. Like, and the guy goes, "Oh!" and he flips over the ropes and gets eliminated.
Well, think about it.
That's
Randy
hilarious.
Orton gets burned again. Randy's in the Randy's face mask gets set on fire. He goes to the top rope. He's leaning over the turnbuckle, going to go and do a flying RKO on the Fiend, and he goes to go leap, and the pyro goes off, and Randy Orton's face is on fire, and he falls out of the ring.
That would be something you do where, like, you set up Ellsworth. Ellsworth is terrified of what happened to Randy Orton with the Fiend, and then, like, a couple of weeks into that, him being terrified every week, he does get burned. The Fiend actually lights him on fire, and now the guy is, like, just terrified of it, and literally, like, 3 months later, it's the Rumble, and he's in the ring, and the Fiend appears as the only one with him, and he does the thing, and the posts go on fire, and Ellsworth runs away, and that would be hilarious. That'd be a hilarious gag, but that's so ridiculous. But it is funny. That's actually a pretty funny idea.
Thing,
that's something Vince would do too. The thing is, what you just said is something that I think people would actually think is good.
And, I know, as ridiculous as it is.
But not only would people think, I think that's kind of good, only not for Randy, but for like a comedy act guy, like not Otis, but like a James Ellsworth type of person. People won't mind that. And here's the other thing, Vince would like that. So that's actually something that I could see Pritchard and them doing. But see, that's the problem, is that's all they know how to do. That little comedy thing that we just mentioned, that's all Pritchard and Vince right now know how to do.
Yeah, they can't do anything compelling or serious. That's why SmackDown, some of the serious stories, is coming from Daniel Bryan, coming from Edge, and Paul Heyman. That's why the good stories over there are working. Bianca Belair doing well, getting pushed again, because she wasn't pushed on Raw once Heyman had to leave.
Why did you block me, Bianca? God damn it.
Also, TSS2 said, "Hey, Jake, tell Joe that the Charlotte Peacock clip is on Out of Nowhere 65. It's at 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 40 seconds.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I'll write that down. I'm going to remember that in a minute. I got a million things first.
Right,
J Panda says you guys are.
To...
J Panda does say you guys are forgetting the one thing: Fox would never allow their content on NBC service.
They might not have SmackDown. They're not going to have SmackDown Live, but after that, they have no rights to it.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing. First of all, that WWE, who cares if the new SmackDowns aren't on the WWE Network? Who cares? Like, is that a thing? Who cares if the new SmackDowns aren't on WWE Network? And but even with that being said, WWE owns the right to use the content on their network, which is being sold to NBC. There's nothing in the contract that's going to disallow for that, I don't believe. So you might see some of the content on the Peacock from the Fox, because I don't think they can stop that from happening based on the contract they have with WWE and their own content after 30 days. So I don't think there's anything to do about that. But if there is, so what? You don't get replays of SmackDown? I'm sure WWE, there's no like wrap-up show or highlight show that's going to be on the NBC Peacock show. So they don't care. That doesn't matter. I don't think that's going to be a factor at all. I understand what you're saying, though. If there was like a bit, like say there was like SmackDown, like, or you're saying like, oh, it's a pay-per-view, so now they're going to show the highlights of Roman Reigns attacking Paul Heyman. They can't do that because they're on the Peacock network. No, they can do it because WWE still exclusively owns the right to produce and broadcast their programming on any and all platforms that exist. So they can literally play stuff that happens on Fox on the USA Network. They can play stuff on on Fox that happens on the USA Network. They can play stuff on USA Network that happens on Fox. They can play stuff on the WWE Network that happens on Fox or USA Network, depending on the contract deal and expulsion of the decree inside of the legal contract that they have binding with the streaming rights to their capabilities of their programming. So what that means is that after 30 days, it's fair game to air it in its entirety, I believe, if you look at the contract and you look at it on the WWE corporate page. And they definitely have the right to show highlights and clips of anything. So they would not ever enter into a contract that disallowed them to do that. So Fox doesn't care. As far as Fox is concerned, it's WWE's product. going on their network, and it's advertisement for them if they show it somewhere else, as long as they're not showing it in its entirety, their production on the NBC whatever channel, Peacock. So no, you're not going to see SmackDown in full on Peacock unless there's some kind of deal beyond 30 days that I don't know about. But what you will see is the highlights, and that won't be a problem whatsoever. So if that's what you're saying, no, you'll be able to see Roman Reigns attacks Paul Heyman. Here's the flashback. It's WrestleMania. Here's the preview. No, WWE, that's all they're all going to be allowed to do it. They have all this already contracted. They're going to be fine with that. You're not going to not see that. I don't know if you'll see SmackDown in full, though, on the Peacock. And if they do, then Fox will probably get a piece of that. So if they're airing it, so if WWE gets $1 billion, then WWE will have to pay $3, $5, $10 million back into Fox to make sure they can distribute the rights of the programming on Peacock Network. I don't know. Something like that. I'm not really a lawyer, but I'm into all that stuff, but I'm not a lawyer. I have no idea. Nobody cares. It's not going to matter. Let's put it that way. It's not going to matter. Nothing's going to change as far as that goes. Yeah. They'll work. They have lawyers. They'll figure it out.
Do you guys think Alexa wins title tonight? I hope so. Over Asuka being champion.
Listen, I think you have to put the belt on Alexa now because they made Asuka look like a dumbass. And
here's the thing. I think she's going to not win tonight, but it's going to happen in such a way because she killed Asuka the other day. But she won't win tonight, so she can challenge her at the Rumble and then win the title at the Rumble, so they have a title match at the Rumble.
So probably a DQ tonight. Like Alexa will do something horrific to her.
That's the only way I see it happening because there's no title match at the Rumble then. Tonight's the go-home show, so they would have to have the title match and then no build to a match at the Rumble.
Right.
And then Alexa isn't going to be involved in the Rumble either. I was kind of hoping she would win the Rumble because she announced that she'd be in the Royal Rumble. If she wins tonight, she's a champion. She's not in the Rumble. I want her to lose tonight and be in the Rumble. I'd rather her win the Rumble.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I think that would be better too.
There's other people on the SmackDown side of things that benefit more from a Rumble win.
I don't know,
as far as Raw goes, like if it's not going to be Bianca Belair, then I am all about Alexa winning. Like those are my two picks.
I honestly think that you might. Wait a minute. Bianca's on SmackDown. Alexa's on Raw.
Yes.
What's up, buddy? I'm coming to play ball. My son really wants to play ball. I'm moving along, buddy. I'm almost done. I'm at home so much. I barely, you know what I mean? Like, I was around 3 hours earlier. I'll be around for 5 hours before Raw. You know, I spend a lot of time with the kids. I'm lucky that I get to spend tons of time with my kids because this only took an hour to prep for, and we've only been live for just over an hour. So luckily, I'm going to work for 3 hours, hang out with my family for 7 hours, watch Raw for 3 hours, do a review for 2 hours. That's my day, and I'm privileged to be able to do that type of day. WWE AEW News $5 pledge on Patreon. Thank you, WWE AEW News. Jeff McCain, Leon Kennedy, Cornelius, and Kyle Renda. Man, thank you guys for signing up on Patreon. Me and Jake do a 2-hour podcast last week. Jake and Joe podcast. It is delicious. You'll lick it up. You'll swallow it. You'll be a hooker after it. So go and become a pledge. We need more patrons. I need more patrons. We got 310. We really got to get to 350, and we're down $300 from last month, and we were down $200 from that month and $100 from the month before. So when it comes crashing down and it hurts inside, Joe Cronin's going to pay his mortgage. So please check out Patreon, $5 a month if you can. Check it out. You're going to get like 20 to 30 hours of content a month that you don't get anywhere else. Podcast, me and Jake, everybody else. It's crazy. Check out Patreon. I'm telling you, get 30 hours of content, audio downloads, tons of stuff you don't see here. Plus, you support the show because we don't really have sponsors but a couple little ones, and they're wonderful, but they certainly don't make up for anywhere near what the Patreon does. But here's some sponsors right now. We got we caught up. Okay, Alexis Sweetass. Thank you, Alexis Sweetass.
Trailbound said it's funny how the WWE always come around to the prophecies of one Joe Cronin. He's right though. Like the things we've said on this show, they come to fruition time and time again.
It's projection.
The last thing we said, our projection was they would go to Peacock. That's where they went. And it's not like we've not made some wild guesses before that have come true as well. I mean, but a lot of times we use facts and sound reasoning and logic to come to those guesstimations.
I'll say that I didn't know 100% they would come to Peacock, but what I will say is that what we did say was that they weren't happy necessarily with like 300 million, 200 million. They were like,
not for that long and that much content.
Yeah, and so like that's why they held out for so long. And this is just
and the library is absolutely massive. The network library is almost insurmountable for anybody to fully go through. It would take you your entire life to watch everything, and I don't even think then you would have enough time.
Right.
That's how much content they have on there.
I think that we definitely, I definitely was on a lot longer than I thought I was going to be for this.
I think we need vacuum.
Yeah, Triple H said that he's, one of the things I have learned about him being Brock Lesnar, he does what he wants to do. Nobody can talk him into doing things differently. So time will tell. If Brock wants to show up at Mania, he will. If he doesn't, he won't. The only way to get that answer is call Brock Lesnar. Apparently they've been in talks and things are not ideal. There was a bidding war between AEW and WWE in the background for Lesnar. We didn't hear any specifics of that. And from there, no one has any ties or rights to Brock at this point in time. So it's just a kind of a wait and see. I don't know what they're going to do. I'm sure if they offer him a bag of money and the deals that he wants and his terms, which WWE clearly now, knowing they have this extra $200 million, that sounds about right for Brock. Vince is going to be desperate for WrestleMania attraction star status people. I wouldn't doubt it if he honestly even tries to get Mark out of retirement. I could picture him calling Calloway and being like, hey, The Undertaker, one more. I could so see him doing that. Because Vince was more upset to lose his intellectual property than to have his friend have to retire,
Yeah, I mean, that really came out in that Undertaker podcast on Joe Rogan where Taker kind of said, he actually said the honest thing. He goes, listen, Vince, you just... Yeah, we're friends and stuff like that, but this is his creation and business. And so he basically said, The Undertaker basically said he was willing to put my life at risk because of how important my character is and his business is. That's basically kind of what but we all know Vince cares about him. And do you think that he really, someone else gets hurt, Vince goes to the hospital with him? He probably went to the hospital with The Undertaker because he's like, oh my God, my creation. That's got to be part of it.
That's what I'm saying. That's the only person he would go. And it wasn't so much I know he cared about him and he worried about him. It is his friend.
Does. Yeah, he does.
But I also think it was like you said, my God, my money, No,
I just think it was all of it all moved in.
My favorite thing is broken.
No, it's like, dude, I watched Truman Show last night for the first time in a while. Remember Christoph, the director, what's his face plays the director on the Truman Show?
Yeah, vaguely. And he's I saw it in the drive-in.
Oh, dude, that movie.
I saw it so long
Truman
ago.
Show is amazing. Everybody should. I've watched it a million times.
I really liked it then, but I just have to go back and rewatch it.
The director guy, he looks at Truman like his pet, his love, his work, everything. And I think that's how Vince sees The Undertaker. He looks at it like he's like at the end when Truman's gonna get out of there or whatever. He's like, no, come on, you want to go back? And he's almost drooling and smiling, and he's shaking over the idea of his creation. He saw him since he was a baby, raised. So there's all these connections to him financially, personally, creation. He sees him as a pet. It's just to me, it's so similar to what Vince must kind of see.
Yeah, for The Undertaker. That's a great point, honestly. I never even made that connection, and that really does make a great deal of sense because, like you said, Vince, that was his baby.
What do you want to say to Jake? Go ahead. What do you want to say to Jake?
What's up, buddy?
Go tell him. I'm live. You got to tell him.
Too sweet me.
There was a fish in my hand.
There's a fish in your hand?
What?
Do I want to know why, or did you take the fish out of the fish tank? Is that what happened?
Why was there a fish in your hand?
Because I was doing a pond and a fish bit my head.
All right, bit your head?
You playing some game on a phone or something?
Yeah, but then
I thought you took the fish out of the fishbowl and put it in the toilet. You don't want to do that.
Man, we had so many calls tonight. I appreciate the calls, man. I'm sorry we only got 3 callers today, but we're gonna be live after Raw.
I was happy just to have that, and like Brendan just said, the tier on Peacock for $9.99 sounds better and better the more you look into it, and he's right because you get the WWE Network coming up soon. Plus, they offer live sports. Whatever you have on NBC is going to be live on Peacock, so that's great. Hockey, football, whatever they have, NASCAR. They have reruns of shows like The Office. Then they're going to have live things like SNL. And you lose nothing. The entire library for WWE will be there. So it's basically, if you already have Peacock, you're getting WWE. If you already have WWE, you're just getting Peacock. Either way, you're gaining something. So it is a good move for fans.
Yeah, it's a good move for fans. And, bro, I'm done. I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta go.
Alrighty.
Hey,
I
Jake,
will talk
man.
to you tonight for Raw. Take care, bud. I'll talk to you guys later.
Hey, can you hear this music?
No, I can't.
Okay, so that still doesn't work.
Yeah, no audio, no donations, nothing.
Okay. All right. Well, we tried. Let's get one more call. See if we can get it real quick.
All right.
Let's see if this works. Because if this works, that means we can take repetitive calls again.
Yeah, it would be great.
412's on the phone. Yo, 412, what's up?
Hey, Joe. Hey, Jake.
Hey, it works again.
I think... What's going on, man? I think that this sale of the WWE Network to Peacock, I think this is a good thing for AEW, and hear me out here. So I think this just further exposes WWE as the corporate sellout that they are, and it's just going to push more. It's just going to push more people away who had that thought, and it just confirms it. And yeah, I think it's a good thing for AEW because it just makes them look like more for the fans, more for the people, and not just about money.
I understand your point
what I mean?
clearly, and you make a very ideal point, but here's my question in return here. More of a statement, but I don't know how many of those fans have the mindset that you're expressing. You know, I don't know the volume of people that would be so against them moving to Peacock that they would either stop watching or watch another company altogether. I know there is a subset of fans out there that do dislike the corporate nature of WWE, and this will certainly push them over the edge. But I think that that's such a small amount that it's really not going to be a portion of which WWE is even worried about.
Right.
Yeah,
AEW will care because they need every single fan they can get. So them getting 1,000 or 2,000 extra fans out of this is great for them. But realistically speaking, I don't see many people doing that at all.
Yeah, that's a really good argument. I guess I was just more not speaking towards the numbers, but maybe just like the overall kind of feeling, and maybe not initially. Yeah, not initially, but it'll just build over time that, WWE is this corporate entity affiliated with NBC. They've done things at NBC obviously in the past, but now they're like part of the NBC family. They have SmackDown on Fox. Does it get any more corporate than that? I mean...
Yeah, no. But they've been corporate for ages, so I mean, this is nothing new. That's why I said I think this would certainly maybe push some people over the edge. The reason that I think people would get more upset, and Vince has to be careful now because, Andrew Yang and people have opened a can of worms for Vince, and with Democrats essentially having the majority in the most cases, it could become a problem for Vince not long in, from now, not far in the future. They did make several promises on the campaign, road saying that, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is how we want to do it. And we want to go ahead and talk to the wrestlers and see what we can do to make their lives better. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's definitely, wow, that's another fantastic point. Jake DeMarco for president. Holy shit. Yeah, because now, all these wrestlers, they're going to want health insurance and everything, obviously, that's going on that with the independent contractor situation and shit. I hope it happens, man. I really do. I hope they deserve health insurance. I mean, there's no argument about that. But
absolutely,
if you want to be a corporate entity, that be traded on the stock market, network television, you have to be able to fucking pay your employees. I mean, well, they don't even consider them employees, but
the pay will probably go up.
Yet, so.
Pay can go up now. I mean, all the wrestlers know what the money is now. So now all the wrestlers are going to be like, well, they're going to get more money because they're going to be like, yo, what's up? You guys just made $1 billion. You can't
think
give
about
me
Retribution that just got those pissant worth contracts for, nothingness. So, well, that was great that we got a good call out of that. And thank you so much for calling in.
Thanks, man. Good call and appreciate it. Thanks to everybody else.
I know we're past it. You got to get the hell out of here. I'm going to get the hell out of here, but we'll see everybody for Raw tonight.
Yeah, see you guys on Raw. Thanks, man. Jake at Countdown Ended on Twitter, at JCS Commentary on Twitter for me. And thanks to Jake for coming in, man. An extra bonus. Go back and watch this whole video if you missed it. I went over everything at the beginning real quick and shot into it. And then Jake came on and we really rattled through things. So you might have missed. We answered tons of everything questions and predictions and theories. And it's all there. Thank you, Jake. Love you, brother. Catch you later, Jake. Let me see if I missed any donos. Did I miss any donos? We got them all. We got all the donations. Please check out my Patreon, guys. If you want to support me, check out my Patreon. Check out all that. Thanks for everybody who donated. King's Wrestling Talk is the top dog. Yeah, you want your ball? Ready? Catch. Catch. No, catch. Back up. You got to catch it. Catch. Catch, ready? Catch. Yeah. We're out of here, guys. Thanks so much for the support. We'll see you later. Shout out to the champion of Monetize This, Casey is Raw, and to the king of the wheel of funk, Himmelgod. See you tonight for the Monday Night Raw review, tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, U.S. Hit me up, JoeCronenShow, yahoo.com, Instagram.com/Joe Cronin Show, and everywhere else. We'll see you guys later. Peace out.